Bridlington is steeped in my family history. Here, the North Sea shapes not only the land, but the lives upon it. My father met my mother here during the Second World War. The windswept beaches of my childhood, where I chased waves and froze splashing about in the water, held no fear for me. Yet the graveyards around these parts show that perhaps one should fear the North Sea. 1792. But somehow it's an element I embraced, and I used to go scuba diving, though in warmer climes. We come back here regularly because my family remains are scattered about here in various ways. In Brid, they say only two types of people stay: the very stupid and the very clever. I don't know what that makes me, but the harshness of this judgment is somehow a back compliment at the same time, which perhaps echoes the whole vibe of the North and us Northerners. Good morning. We're in St Oswald's in Flamborough, looking at the memorial for the sinking of the Carol Sandra and the North Wind 3. Of course, getting lost at sea in Flamborough is a bit of a tradition, really, with some others from 1909. Those families are still around as well. We're in Flamborough. This is what happens in Flamborough. You know, when it's sunny elsewhere, it's never sunny here. But when it's really freezing cold elsewhere, it's bright sunshine here. It's always slightly out of sync with everywhere else. Yeah, I got my sunglasses as well, but I'm not going to put them on.
It was sunny when I left.
That's right. We checked the weather.
Yeah.
That's right. But then it's always like this.
Are you ready, Lawrence?
I'm ready. Yeah, I'm going to frighten them, get them moving so Helen can take a photo of them. Mind you, when we came here last time,
It was like this.
it was like this. We haven't noticed.
We came one day and it was absolute perfection.
Right, here's a bit of history of the place, as far as I can work out. Flamborough is an Angle name, an English name, rather than a Danish Viking sort of name, and it doesn't really mean a burg where there's a flame or anything like that. It's thought to be named after Flensburg, a town in North Germany where Angles came from. And the Angles came here after the Romans had left, and apparently King Ida is reputed to have beached his boats along this coast, particularly on the south sands of Bridlington, before then marching off to conquer Bamburgh, and there he created the Kingdom of Northumbria, or at least set the whole thing in motion, because well, there was lots of British around, Celts, and they were pagans and what have you, and it wasn't until King Oswald came along and he defeated all the pagans and created a united Northumbria, and he brought in Aidan from Iona and set him up in Lindisfarne. Hence the reason why the church in Flamborough is called St Oswald's, because he's the guy that brought in Christianity into the region. However, as you can see when you go around the hill region, there's places like Thornwick Bay and so on. They all have Norse origins. And it's because in the 10th century, the North started coming here and generally, making friends with the ladies. Hence the reason why a lot of the names of objects that women used are English, and the names of objects that men used are of a Norse kind, and the Norse dialect sort of crept into male speech, so to speak. And this drizzly sea fog that we've got here, it's called a rog, which apparently is the same as it's called in Jutland. It's cold. It's misty. It's Flamborough. Well, strictly speaking, Bempton Cliffs. There's a lot of birds out there. You can't see them there. But they're there. Lots of them. Birds. Making a noise. But you can't see them. But they're there.
Used to come down here and swim.
Yeah, we did. Yes, it's the same day as we were on Bempton Cliffs, and the weather is totally different down here at Danes Dyke. What else can I tell you? Oh, yes. Harold Godwinson used to be the lord of the manor here until the Normans took it over. Yeah. And they gave it to a guy called William Le Gros. And in the 13th century, William Le Constable took over, and he became Lord of Flamborough. He had his fishermen swear an oath to give a tenth of all their fish to St Oswald's Church, on pain of excommunication. But in return, the Prior of Bridlington promised that each fishing boat should have 12 loaves, 6 pence, and 4 flagons of ale per person, with 8 for the guy who steered the boat every Martinmas Day. So you didn't want to get on one of those boats on Martinmas Day. And in fact, they said that they could eat them all in one go if they so wished, or take them away to be eaten at will. Well, there you go, that's very good for them, isn't it? And what else have I got? Yes, in 1536, Sir Robert Constable, and he blighted the whole Constable clan here by getting on the wrong side of the king, and he ended up hanged in Hull. And Flamborough was then taken over by the crown. However, it did return to them under Elizabeth I. She was a bit of a soft touch, probably, because by the 17th century, in the Civil War, William Constable became a colonel in the parliamentary forces and signed the warrant to behead the king. Here unfolds the land, the shore, where tides and cliffs forever roar. Bridlington breathes through salted air a tapestry of love and care. The North Sea rises, cold and deep, a restless soul that cannot sleep. It shapes the earth, it shapes the kin who brave its call and dive within. Here lovers met when war had torn, a union formed, a family born. Through fishing nets and fields they grew, bound to the land, the winds that blew. But tides bring more than fleeting play, the echoes of a darker day. A brother lost, a monument stands where sorrow touched these weathered sands. And yet the children chase the waves on wind-swept beaches bright and brave. The caravan parks hum with cheer, brief summers claim the weary year. For here is life, both harsh and kind, a place where past and present bind. The gravestones whisper lives once spent, their permanence a testament. The cliffs of Flamborough remain a witness to both joy and pain, while fishing boats still drift and dream upon the sea's unbroken seam. This place endures, this place persists in howl of wind and ocean's mist, a home to those who stay, who leave, a land that weeps, a land that breathes. For memory lingers etched and true in cliffs, in graves, in skies of blue, a portrait drawn by time and tide, where history and hearts abide. What else can I tell you? Oh yes, the Strickland family took over after the death of William Constable, and they were known for bringing the first turkeys into England from America. I think the Strickland family is still around. I think they owned the place more or less until well into the 19th century. Anyway, there you go. Turkeys first came to Britain because of a Flamborian.